don't know yet. Can you hear me? Are you on? See if you're on. Yeah, but can you guys hear me? I'm so sorry. I don't know. We're having like storms and I don't know. This happens every time. Okay, coming back, coming back. Can you guys hear me now? Is my mic working? Did you hear the tap? Perfect. Okay. All right. So sorry, guys. I'm going to wait like 2 minutes to see if everyone jumps over here. Sandy, did you say that to refresh my channel? I'm good. Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was on here too, because that happened to me last time, and then I didn't use it the last live, and it was fine. So I just shut it off. It's just really hard for me to read the comments. So I guess I'm going to have to keep stopping and looking at the comments to see if you guys have questions, because my computer is like behind me. So I apologize. I apologize. And I've been, because I can't really read the comments while we're working, I've been going through my lives afterwards and reading the live chat and answering questions that way. So if you have a question and I don't answer it on my live, I will answer it, I promise. It might just not be tonight, but I will try my hardest. I just can't see that far away. How do I do that? Eric, how do I do that? It still uses the same internet, so I don't want to take my internet like down, I guess. But won't it still use the same amount of internet? That's the one thing that I'm like trying not to use, I guess. Hi again. Hi everyone. I'm so sorry. It should affect your live stream. Oh, I get it. Got it. Okay. Okay. Let me see. So can I just go into YouTube like I normally would and just like search it instead of going to my channel? I'm really bad at technology, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try this. Hold on. Basically watch yourself from a different account. Okay, that's what I'm doing right now. It asked me to subscribe to myself, so I'm guessing that I'm doing it right. Please give this video a thumbs up. I so apologize to everybody. Let's see. Maybe this is it. I think I got it. Okay. I know you guys are always having fun in the chat because I can never chat with you because I'm too busy sewing. But okay, are you guys ready? Yeah, did anyone miss the sizes? I have them over here right next to me that I can go grab if you guys need a size. I wrote them all down. I hope I did this right and it doesn't mess it up, but Eric, I just went to the search bar in YouTube and just put in Being on Bliss, and it asked me to subscribe, so I'm guessing that should be fine, hopefully. Yes, I will do that right now. Let me go grab them really quick. I'm going to have to redo my entire description because this is a new live, and I didn't want to do all that so you guys wouldn't have to wait longer. So I am behind you guys right now, and I am just putting in the description of the sizes right now. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm just going to do Mommy and me. I'll put you guys over here so you can at least see what I'm doing. Mommy and me, 8 inches by 20. Okay, I'm going to do 15. By 20 and 2T. Okay, let me know if I did that right. That's the first time I've ever done that. So let me know if I did it right. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. I'm going to move it back over here. Okay. Ooh, that's close. I do have good internet. It's weird that these lives don't work. I must be doing something wrong, and my husband doesn't really help me that well with connecting it. So he streams all day. He runs he's a CEO of a company and doing all meetings all day long, and he doesn't ever have an issue. So I don't know what I do wrong, because this literally happens to me every single live, and I've literally tried every. Okay, so did you guys see the description? I just posted the sizes in the description, so if they're, I hope that, yeah, you can see them. Okay. Okay. So for the people who are ready, I'm just going to show you how I start it, I'm gonna use my serger for the first one because like I said, the ones that I'm doing are exactly the same size. So I'm gonna do one sample on my serger, and then I'm gonna do the other sample on my regular sewing machine so that you guys can see an example of both ways in case you do not own a serger. This is possible either way. But I'm going to be completely honest. I haven't used my regular sewing machine to sew a headband in a very, very long time. I know how to do it, but it's been a really long time. So hopefully it all goes smooth. In the description. Yes, I think everyone who's crafty or makes things needs a serger. Sergers are a must when you're sewing. They make sewing knit fabrics so easy. Okay, so I'm going to just start while you guys are getting prepared, and I will go back and show you. I'm just moving this. So, like I said, I don't pin, but you guys feel free to pin. This fabric is actually not one of my organic fabrics. So sometimes like it's going to be Valentine's Day, and all I want to make on with this print is headbands. It's super stretchy, and so it is called a bullet fabric. Nita, you have these kind of fabrics. They are really nice for headbands because they're super stretchy. They're easy to with, and I don't pin, so they're really nice because they actually like stick together and they don't really move around a whole lot. So I will use this kind of fabric just for like seasonal headbands, really quick stuff, because it's easy, it's cheaper, I can make a bunch of them, and I'm not making a whole outfit with it. I'm literally only making headbands with it. So I wanted to show you guys it in this because I need to make them anyway for some orders. So yes, please. Thank you, Reddy. What kind of fabric are you looking for, Irma? This particular fabric right here, I actually got on Amazon. So sometimes, like I said, if I just want something really simple and easy to use for a fast headband like this, I'll search on Amazon for a bullet knit fabric, and I'll find what I like. I'll read the reviews on it, whatever. Sometimes I'll buy like 1 yard of it, and if I really like it, then I'll buy a bunch of it. But like I said, I only use it for headbands. But you're using quite a bit. Like it's not very thick, but it's long, and you have to use the stretch the long way. So you're taking up quite a bit of fabric just for this little headband. So I got this on Amazon is what I'm trying to say. But all of my other fabrics I get on Spoonflower. Okay, so literally you're gonna sew a line. That's all you're doing. Raw edges, serger. I'm gonna show you guys because a lot of you guys had a question about my cutter because I do not use my cutter on my serger. Can you guys see that? It's really bright. I'm gonna put my finger right here so the light doesn't get on it. Okay, so I actually put my fabric, so there's the cutter right there. If you guys can see that. I put my fabric like right up against it to where it curls over the edge. When you're cutting it, I don't use my cutter, so I don't know exactly do to myself to put it like that. And when I start sewing, you'll see I keep it up as like it's curled up. I never let it go flat. I always leave it curled up. And that is how I get a perfectly straight serged edge without using my cutter, because all of my patterns I make without a seam allowance. So that is how I do that. So I'm just going to leave this right here since I just showed you guys that. And I'm literally just going to serge a straight, hold it. I always have my one hand right here, and I have my other hand holding it. I'm not pulling it at all. I'm literally just holding it in place. And you want to make sure that they're even the whole way around. You don't want them off. So you're just sewing straight down the entire thing. But see, look, my edge, it's right up against there. I don't know if you can see that. Focus. Literally right up against there. So that's all I'm doing. And I do that for everything that I sew. It's literally pouring outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Now you can cut the ends off. It doesn't matter because we're going to be sewing them again. So I just cut both of the ends off. So that's it for that right now. Are you guys all keeping up? Do I need to go slower? Is there a reason why I don't use my cutter? Honestly, there's no reason. I just didn't like the look of using the cutter or started. I couldn't get it as neat looking as this. I felt like the way that I do it like this just looks way cleaner. I know a lot of people say to use the cutter because it makes it look a lot cleaner. But for me personally, I couldn't get it to look as good as this. And it was frustrating me because I wanted it to be perfectly straight across the whole thing. And I couldn't get it that way. So I literally just stopped before I made myself more frustrated because I already knew how to do it this way. And I make my own templates and everything. So there was no reason why I needed to keep trying and wasting my time when I could get it right like this right away. So there's really no reason. I just like it, but the way it looks better without the cutter. Hope that makes sense. You don't sew backwards for the beginning and end to kind of top. No, I don't, because we're going to sew it again, and I'm going to show you that right now. So you guys can go ahead and cut off the ends. Okay. So now, we are making I'm sorry, I should have said that in the beginning. I hope that you guys are all grabbed your baby headband first. If you did not, go ahead and do the same exact step to your other one, and then we'll move on from there. But this is going to be the knot headband, which is the baby one. Because there are a little bit of different steps. But once you get to this point, you're going to literally just grab it like this and pull it inside out. If your fabric is wrinkly, you're going to want to iron it. I did a video today. I haven't uploaded it yet, but I used my organic fabric. So you'll be able to see, again, if you want to rewatch this, obviously you can rewatch the live, but I have another video that's showing how to make the headband again with a different kind of fabric, my original fabric. But if you are using a fabric right now that is not like this and it is wrinkly, what you're going to want to do at this point, after it's turned inside out, is take it over to the iron or heat press, and you're going to want to put your seam line in the middle on the back and then press it flat. But you want to make sure that your seam on the inside is laying flat all the way across. And so how I do that is I always like, if you guys have watched me before, you know I have a pretty side and an ugly side. This is my pretty side right here. This is my ugly side. I don't know why. I just don't like that side as much. So what you do is you just lay it flat And then you can kind of roll it with your fingers to lay it flat, but you want the whole thing laying exactly the same way on, all the way down, and then press it. But this one, I don't need to press. That's why I like this fabric as well. And I do a lot of headbands with this kind of fabric because it's so easy to work with. Any questions so far? Okay, I'm going to move on. I will stop if you guys need me to, and I'll re-explain if you guys need me to. I'm trying not to move too fast. But you have your seam line in the back. Flip it over so that the right side is facing up towards the ceiling. So now there's no seam line on here. Can't see them. I mean, you can't see them. Natasha, what do you mean you can't see them? Are you talking to me? Okay. I'll look at her question in 1 second. Okay, so now that this is like this, you're gonna put your hand, so like a scarf, drape it over your hand. Make it even. I don't know if you can see me. Drape it over your hand just like this. Then fold it over so like your palm is facing you and you want it to look like a breast awareness ribbon almost, but you don't want to see any of the seam. So you want it to be flat, all facing towards you. And this is how I make them. There's probably 1,000 different ways to make these, but this is how I've taught myself how to do it, and it comes out good every time. So just want to put that out there. After you have your little ribbon like this, and it looks like that. I'm trying to look at the computer and look at my camera at the same time. You're going to take the top part and you're going to pull it through the hole right here. And I always keep this opening underneath with my 2 fingers right here. That way it doesn't go anywhere. And I try to keep this as flat as possible. But what you want is you want to still see the right side. So see how I flipped that? It was coming out like this, upside down. And then I literally just flipped it so that the right side is on top. Do not tighten the bow or the knot. Do not tighten it at this point. You want it loose. So just leave it like this. This is how it should look right now. New to your channel and first live. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. So many years ago and have had my serger for over 30 years. I will be using it more often to sew baby items for my first granddaughter coming soon in June. How exciting. Diana, that is super exciting. And I'm sure your daughter or son, whoever's having the baby, is going to love that you hand make their clothing. Handmade clothing is so amazing. Okay. So if you guys are to this point right now, like I said, do not tighten the bow. You want it still facing you the correct way. This is the back side. So flip it over. Make sure that these are still in the center and that whichever way you like that seam is facing that way. So I like mine flat like that. And then this fabric moves, so I pin it right here while I'm fixing the other side so that it doesn't move. So I'm moving this side now into the middle with the right seam facing the right way. So now that piece is in the middle. So you want it directly in the middle, just like that. So now you're going to right sides facing up again. I hope I'm explaining this good to you guys. So now it's facing up The correct way is facing you and up towards the ceiling if you're holding it like this. You're going to put right sides together. In the sewing world, it's called right sides together, which means the pretty side of your fabric is facing each other. Line two. And with this fabric, it does move quite a bit. So I'm lining my middle pieces up, and I'm not worrying about the edges right now. I'm lining my two middle pieces up right here, and then I'm going to pin that so that those are even. And then I can go over here and mess with my side pieces like this. And I'm telling you guys, it doesn't usually take this long. I'm just going really slow and explaining it all. But when you've got it, it's 2 seconds. You just literally want it even like that, all the way around. When you get to that point, take it over to your serger. Whoever has sewing machines, I'm going to do that one next, so just hang tight. Okay, you want your seams to be facing up towards the ceiling now. I don't know if you can see that because it's ring, but that's my seam. So this is my ugly side, and you want that facing up. You want your pretty sides facing together on the inside. They're facing together. So come over to the sewer, or serger, I'm sorry. And you're going to make sure, I always put it under, and then I make sure my edges right here, I take my pin off, and I always make sure my edges are completely even. That way you don't have any bulkiness, and just serge down that edge. Do not take it off when you're done. And just, okay, so now, let me see if you can see this. So it's at the very end right here where my needles are. I go a little bit farther, just a little bit. I lift up my presser foot, pull it out, and I flip it upside down. Leave this, don't cut that yet. Tuck it back under like you're going to sew it again. I got to put my camera down. I can't do this one-handed. But you flipped it. Put your presser foot down. And then what I'm going to do, cut this so you have like 1/2 inch. This is how I do it. Like I said, there's probably other ways to do it. This is how I do it. There's like 1/2 inch right here left. And then I wrap that up on top right here. And I sew. Just like I were to sew it the first time around. I keep that wrapped underneath there. And then I pull it out. Whoop, sorry, you couldn't see that. But then I pull it out like that. Cut it. This is really little. You can cut it if you want. Sometimes I just leave it. But I always pull this and I tuck it. So I use my big eye needle to hide my threads. I pull it through. And then you stick it underneath here, just like that. But I go under like maybe like 1 inch. I don't know if you can see that, but right there. Pull it through. And then I cut. And like I said, you can cut that if you want. I leave it, but it's up to you. Okay, so now you have your seams on the inside. You can straighten them out. And what I do is I fold this one in first. And then I fold this one in like that. And you can pin this if you want, but you don't have to. You can just hold it or whatever. And I'm going to stop and ask for questions if you guys have any questions. Hold on, let me read these really quick. Please do one more time. Okay. I have a bunch of headbands cut out over here, so I can do it one more time if you want. You want me to do the knot again? Denise, do you want me to do the whole thing again? What do you want me to do? Show the knot again. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to grab this one right here next to me and do the knot again because I have more of these. I'm just going to sew it really fast to get to the knot part. I have a bunch of these cut out, so I can still do the sewing machine, no worries. The knot is very tricky, so I was trying to do it slow. I'll do the camera at a different angle. Maybe I'll lay it down. Can you guys all hear me okay? Okay. Okay, so once you sew it, you flip it inside out. Okay, I'm gonna move you guys just facing down on this table so that you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna lay it down on the table. So maybe it's easier this way. Is this a better angle? Thank you. That's so nice of you, Sarah Ann. Garlic knots. Yes, thank you. Adelaida, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna set my camera up right here so I can see. Okay, make sure your seam is in the middle and see how it's like straight right here and then it gets bumpy right here. That's because my seam is not facing the correct way. So what I do with this fabric, it's easy because I can literally just stick my hand in here and pull my finger down to straighten out the seam, making sure it's the right way. And now it's flat. So you always want to make sure it's the right way. Okay, so now it's all good. Okay, except right there. All right. Flip it over. I'm going to go slow. Okay. Make a, well, I started out like this. So put it like this on your hand. Just like that. Make a breast awareness ribbon like that with the right sides facing up towards the ceiling. Okay. This top one right here, grab the top one, not the bottom, the top piece. And you're going to flip it. It might be easier if you put your hand underneath all of it with your fingers sticking out the hole in the top right here. Take the top piece, flip it underneath that piece right here. Grab it through the hole. So it's coming out the top now. Take your other hand that was holding underneath and hold this piece right here. And then you're going to gently pull the knot through. And see how mine, this is right side up, which is the pretty side. Now my seam is on top, which is not the pretty side. Now before you make it any tighter, you want to twist it whichever way twists the easiest. So this one is twisting easier. You're going to keep this flat right here, but just readjust your bow, your string on the end right here to where this piece is laying now the pretty way and this is the pretty way. So it looks like a little, I don't know, piece of candy. If you need me to do it again, I can do it again. I can undo this and show you again if you need me to. But did that make more sense? Oh my gosh, you guys, do you want to hear something funny really fast? My eyes are so bad, I'm not even joking. Like, it's easy for me to sew because I can see up close, but far away, I cannot. So my computer is behind me, and the little mouse, the arrow, the clicker thing, is literally right here on my computer screen. And I keep thinking it's something on my mat. So that's why I keep like going like this. I thought that there was something laying on my mat, but it's literally my mouse pointer. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, we're ready to move on. Okay, so I'm actually going to undo this one because you guys know how to do the knot now, and I'm going to use this one for my mom one since we didn't sew it or anything. So I'm going to leave that there. We're going to move on now. So after, I'm going to take this apart because now you guys need to do that part. So pretend I didn't sew that and it was the two pieces hanging out. You're going to put them together. So I'll do this really fast so that you guys can see what I mean. Okay, so it's like this. Your pretty sides are like that. Fold them up together, pretty sides together. This is the wrong side underneath, facing down, right sides up towards the ceiling, put them together. Just like that. You want your seams in the middle. So line them up. And this is how I do it. Line those up in the middle. Make sure your ends are exactly the same. And then you're just going to sew your straight line down on your raw edges. Do you guys need to see me sew it again? Because I can sew it again if you need me to. You just sew it through, stop like 1/2 inch, flip it over, and then sew another line again. Good night, Gabby. Where do you purchase your big eye needle? I literally just got a bunch of them at Joann's. Yeah, Joann's carries them here. I have a whole packet of them. I'll show them to you. They're the tapestry. Yeah, the tapestry needles. They're Drits, and they're size 16. How do you make the glare go away? Is that, why is it so glary? There we go. So they're all the same size, and I got these from Joann's. And I keep them all the time. I always keep them on this thing right here. It's my little magnetic thing, and I just keep it on my desk, so it's always there. Yes. Okay, is everyone up to this part? Okay. I don't know if you guys are up to this part or not, but what you do now is the way that I did it before. I always take this piece that doesn't have that doesn't look as pretty. I tuck it in, And then I tuck this one over too. And most of the time I just hold it with my thumb, but you can pin it if you need to. And then at this point, you're going to just twist your wrists in and flip the knot around, just like that. So it's like this. Twist your wrists in towards the center of the thing. I keep my knot right here. I keep my fingers, and then you just twist it out, just like this. So that now your pretty edges are on the outside, and you can let it go if you want. You don't have to keep it together. But now, see this piece right here? I want to hide that. That's this piece. I want to hide that. But your seam that was in the middle, that's why I had you guys make sure it was in the middle. That way it's even all the way across their head. This is going in the inside of their head so that you don't see that on the outside. But we're going to hide this piece. So keep it tucked in, like I said. Now what you're going to do, this is kind of tricky too. Keep your fingers on it. Don't move your hand. You're going to move the bow, not your hand. So what I do is I take this bigger piece right here, the piece that has like a little flip or a lip, I don't know what to call it. Just grab that. And it is actually, you can stick your finger through here, and it's actually this piece right here. So this piece is connected to this piece. You can't pull it, right? So you're just going to you're going to scoot the knot of the bow down to get over the piece that you're holding. Okay? Now, what you're going to do, let go of this piece. Keep your hands held on the knot, or I'm sorry, the two flaps that you folded over each other. You're going to hold that. But now you're going to take this piece and pull it. So I'm pulling it, and I'm pulling it as tight as I can right here. So just keep pulling that piece until you get over that piece. And now you're going to have this huge piece right here. And then you're going to just pull it through the hole. And then at that point, you have made your knot, and you're just going to adjust it from there to the liking that you prefer. So then at that point, I literally just adjust the knot. I move it around however I want it, but don't pull it too tight because you don't want to stretch the material. And then you can just move it around however you like. And then you have your bow. Or your knot. I keep calling it a bow. You have your knot. And then at this point, there's your headband. And then I go, when I make these for my customers, here I go again with client. I put them on these cards that I made. So these are my headband cards. I put them on here, just like that. And then I just go like this in the back. And then I put them into a clear bag. And that's how I give it to them, just like that. I do that to all of them. Okay, I can do that for you again. Here, let me sew this really quick so I can show you guys again. It will take me 2 seconds. Thank you. Yeah, so they are on my shop, and every piece of clothing that I have, you can get a matching headband with. And I'm starting to put up matching beanies for boys. I haven't got to all of my prints yet, but boys can get matching beanies and girls can get matching bows or headbands. And I used to offer a variety I'm going to put this up here for now. I used to offer a variety of like different kinds of headbands, like 3 or 4 or 5 different kinds. But it got to a little bit too much. So, I mean, I could do them all. It was just like track of which one was which and who ordered what. So I took them off and I just decided to do this one because it was the cutest one to me. I just loved this one. And it was easy. It was fast. It's a good upgrade for people. Like, so the way that I do it is if they buy the headband single by itself, they're, I think, $12, $10 or $12. I can't remember what I put them on. I think they're $10 maybe. And then if they buy them with an outfit, then they're $8. Like if it's an add-on, then they're $8. So it's just an easy, super easy. I'm already cutting the fabric for their outfit that they bought. So then it's just a super easy add-on. And you technically don't have to, I guess, tuck these in. But I think if you've watched any of my lives or videos, I tuck all of my threads in just because I just don't want it to ever be that it came undone. Okay, so I'm going to show you again. Let me see if I can angle this better. Can you see that? Or is that too bright? I don't know why it's so bright. Okay. So it doesn't matter which way you go because I flipped it so they're both the same way. So just tuck it into the middle. Tuck the other side into the middle at just the same way. Pinch it. So don't ever take your fingers off of this until it's complete. Keep your fingers pinched. Okay. So now it's like this. You're going to roll your wrists into the middle of the headband. Keep your fingers pinched, but now I rotate my fingers. So I take my middle one into the inside. Now I take my thumb and hold the outside. That way my fingers aren't all cramped, weird, and in weird positions. Okay, so now you have your seams on the inside of your headband. You're not, this is your knot on the outside of your headband. This piece, you'll see it when you're looking at it. The piece that's sticking up in the air is this piece right here, right? There's a little point on it. You want to grab that and stick your finger through it right here. So stick your finger through that point. So that was the point right here. Grab your finger and stick it through that hole right there. And this is connected to this, is the one that you are holding. So you're literally just going to pull. And as I'm pulling, I'm with my pointer finger right here, if you can see that, I'm pushing the knot. So I'm pushing this knot as I'm pulling this because those two pieces are not connected. So I'm pushing the knot down with my finger and you can adjust it at the end. So don't worry about that the fabric's flipping or anything like that. Push your finger down, pull this, push this, pull this, push this, and push the knot until you get over the seam right here. So that's my seam that I'm trying to hide. And then that's what it's going to look like. So you finally push your knot to go over your seam. So now you have this loose piece that you were pulling. That's the one you were pulling, right? Okay. So now what you want to do is grab the knot that's on top of it now. You're going to lift up as tight as you can. Just pull up. So now that is loose. And you're going to then again wrap down, so pull it down over the knot. Now you're going to push your thumb on that on top, and that's what you're going to pinch now. And then you're going to, there's this piece right here. So this is loose. This piece you're going to grab underneath the bottom and you're going to pull it through. And it's literally just going to form a knot. And you're going to form the knot over those seams right there. And as you're doing it, I'm literally just forming the knot the way that I like it, so that you can twist it however which way you want. But my seam is right here. See that? And you can just tuck it into the middle. I can move this around. I can move this because now I have it hidden. So I can take it and I can move everything that I want. And that's how you can make a knot. You can make it skinny. You can move this out and pull it and make it fat or thick, however you want it. You can make this thicker or thinner, but just make sure that you have this tucked in so that you can't see that. And then there you go. There's your knot, right like that. And then you just fix this right here. And there's your knot. And you can, if you want to pull it, just make sure, because see, it comes out the side right there. So you're going to want to pull it the opposite way or loosen it up. Just keep loosening the knot until you get it hidden in there. So I always stick my finger where the seam is, and I just hold it, and I just pull the opposite way. And you can twist and turn it however you want, because see, like now I need to twist it so that I can move the bow, because sometimes the bow likes to lay a weird way. So you twist it until you get it to where you want it. And then when you get it to where you want it, that's it. You're done. So you can just fiddle with it until you get it to where you want. Any questions? I'm just messing with it now because I'm a perfectionist. All right, there you go. Any questions? So I actually don't put my tag on these only because they're going on a baby's head, and I just don't personally want a tag rubbing on their skin. So I never put tags on my headbands. But if you want to, you could just do like a wraparound tag right here or underneath or wherever you want it. Some people put it right here. But honestly, I love my tags. Nothing like, I love my tags. But let me just show you. If I were to put a tag on here, I just don't think it makes the headband look very pretty. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm putting my tag on there, it just doesn't look right. It like throws the whole headband off to me. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know. I just don't like it. If you put it back here, same thing. It's going to be on the back of their head. I don't know. I just leave it off altogether. Do you guys have any questions for me? Did everybody get that, or do you need me to show you again? Are the sizes posted in the description? I cannot see them. Yeah, they should be in the description box. Is it buffering, guys, or is it okay? I'm just reading comments. Sorry. Well, Adelaida, you have a surprise coming your way because I put one in there for you. To all those that make levies and use the wooden ring, is there a source for those that are organic? I worry about insecticides used on the wood when the tree grows or shipped in customs. Beth, I actually order mine from a company. I'll get you the information, but they're organic beechwood rings. They're the only people that I get them from. I get all my wood from her. And I haven't had any issues with them. Nobody's complained about them. None of them have broken. There's actually a test you can do holding it from up in the air and dropping it like free fall down. And if it breaks, then you should not sell them because it's not good quality wood. And if a child is chewing on it, it could potentially break in their mouth. So you do got to be careful about that. So I have tested out a lot of different places and I really like the one that I use. Can you one day show how to make the cards? So what I did was I created these cards on, where did I create them? So I actually bought this background. I can't remember where I bought the background from, but I just created it in Word. And I just downloaded my logo and then I created the back with just like my websites. I didn't even put my Etsy on there because these are so old. I didn't have an Etsy at this time. I should, my next time around I order them, I'm going to put them on there. I just haven't. I didn't even realize I didn't have that on there. My bad. So yeah, I just literally downloaded the Instagram, Facebook, all that. I just downloaded those and made it in Word. And then I went on Vistaprint because that's where I get all my cards. And I just uploaded it. And then I got the glossy postcards, the horizontal ones. I actually have both kinds because I also make little newborn headbands with just the little knot on them. So I ordered the horizontal ones. Let me put this up because you can't really see it like that. So the glare of the light, I'm so sorry, but I get these ones too. And then these are exactly the same. They're just horizontal. So when I make these knot headbands, I put them on these cards. When I make my other headbands on for a set of 3, and they're just on the, like these nylon headbands. So I put 3 of them on this card. And those ones are super cute too. They're really easy to make. Okay, nice way to add some quick profit. Yes, exactly. Okay, sorry, I'm just reading all the comments that I've missed. Diana, were you able to find the size chart? Is it still on there? Showed up to the party late. Okay, so I'm gonna show you on the sewing machine because some people don't have a serger. So I'm gonna go to my sewing machine and do another one on there. Do it the exact same way, except for on a serger if you're using a serger. On the levies is the wood ring detachable. Yes, I use my cam snaps and you can take them off. The reason why I do the rings is because a lot of people do love the rings, but then also as they get older, they can put a toy on there or a pacifier clip or whatever the mom wants on there. They can put that on there. So yes, it does detach. Yeah, the headbands make the whole outfit, I think. It makes it just pop. Shade it over the top. Okay, yeah, I'm new to this whole YouTube thing. So thanks for all the information. It helps me. This one right here. So I got that cam snap press from Etsy, from the shop that I get all of my cam snaps from. I have literally every color. And their name is I Love Big Buttons. And each letter of the first name is capitalized and it's all one word. I Love Big Buttons at Etsy. Okay, so I'm going to move over to my regular machine now. So whoever is on a regular sewing machine, I'm ready for you. I'm going to grab one of my patterns. So this is how I do it when I cut out. All of this right here is inventory that I have to make for my shop. So whenever I get an order, I actually just cut an extra one out and then I prepare it to be made for the shop. So all of this is just stuff that needs to be made for the store I'm in. So all of these headbands right here are what I was just working with. So I'm just going to grab another one because I have a bunch of them that need to be made and they're already pre-cut. And I just put little stickies on there that just say the size. It says mom and 12 to 24 months because they're the exact same size. And then I just put them like that. Okay, let's see here. How do we want to go on here? I'm going to angle it so you guys can see it good. I wonder if I'm going to put you guys maybe on the ground. I don't know. This tripod doesn't go any lower. Adelaida, I need your tripod. Yours looks nice. The one that you had. I'm going to put it on the ground. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. Put you on the ground. I tried going live on my phone tonight, but apparently it takes a while to get approved after you meet your subs. So I wasn't able to do it tonight on my phone. I was bummed about that because I really wanted to try that. I just feel like I'll be able to get more angles with my phone than I can with this. But I don't know, maybe not. We'll see. Let's see here. You can just get up closer and down more. I'm trying, guys. I think it's too high now. Sorry if you get motion sickness. Okay, I think I got it. I'm getting you right up in here. There we go. That's better. Okay. Okay, what did I miss? Good night, Diana. It's called, okay. Well, how do you guys feel about this angle? Is it okay? All right, so I have not, like I said, done this on my sewing machine in a long time. So we're gonna see how this goes, but you're gonna wanna put it on a zigzag stitch. They should be, what size are you wanting? They should be in the description box, but Sharon, what size do you want? Do you need a walking foot? You don't necessarily have to have a walking foot, but a walking foot is always good for any kind of stretch knit material or minky material or anything like that. But you don't have to have one. It just is easier. A good serger, I really like my serger. I know everyone is very like onto their own sergers that they have or their own sewing machines. I'm very biased about their stuff. So I don't really know, like everyone has their own opinion. I honestly really like mine. I just think it's super easy to use. It is just a at-home machine. So if you're looking for something more heavy duty, which is what I need, but I still just love mine because it's super easy. I have the Brother Lock 1034D, but I got it like 4 years ago. So there's probably an upgraded version of mine out right now. But I just love it. It's super easy to work with. And honestly, if it were to break tomorrow, I'd probably just order the same exact one. Okay. Sharon, the 12 to 24 month is 8 by 20, 8 inches by 20 inches. Good night, Joanne. Thank you for joining me tonight. Okay, you guys ready? Yes, thank you guys. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this. I'm planning on doing these every other Monday night. G mine is behind the pressure foot. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is hard. That would be hard. I honestly, the only thing I wish mine had was I'm going to plug my phone in really fast because it's dying. The only thing I wish my serger had was a knee lift, which I've never had a knee lift, but it would be so convenient if it did have a knee lift. Just because like when I do a lot of leggings and I always have to lift it up and I'm always holding on to it too at the same time, if that makes sense. So I would love a knee lift, but I also love my serger, so can't be too picky. Okay, I'm gonna get started. Okay, so I gotta move my chair around this. All right, so you're gonna take it the same exact way and you're gonna fold it in half. Like I said, put it on a zigzag stitch. And I'm literally just lining my edge up with the edge of my presser foot. So I know my hand's in the way, but the edge of my presser foot is over here. I'm lining the edge of my fabric up with the edge of my presser foot. Zigzag stitch. And the length of my zigzag, I always want mine to be a little bit long, like wider. Not wider, because wider's this way, but longer. So I put mine at a 3. And then my recommended width of my zigzag is always at a 3.5. So when I do, mine's a number 4 if I'm on my brother machine. My son is brother, and so are my serger and cover stitch machines. I do have a Janome on the other side of the room, but I use that for my blankets only. Not for any specific reason, just because it has a big table and it's a nicer machine. But anyway, you want it to be on a number 4 zigzag stitch or whatever zigzag number your zigzag is. I do number 3 for the length of it, and then the width, a 3.5. And this part, you do want to back stitch and forward stitch at the ends, because to me, a serger is different than a regular sewing machine. So if it were me, I would. I guess you don't have to, but I'm going to. So back stitch and then forward stitch. And just take your time, because sometimes on a regular sewing machine, it's a little bit harder. Sergers just work really, really well with knit material. So right now I'm just sewing a straight line down the whole thing. Sorry if it's super loud. Just adjust it as you need. Make sure your ends are lined up and your sides are always the same, lined up all the way down. When you get to the end, back stitch. I always go back like 3 and then forward 3. No reason why, I just do. Okay. cut your ends. This machine doesn't have an automatic cutter, so I cut them myself and I put them in this bin over here. Okay, so when I used to do these on my regular machine, like I just did, I would very small amount snip my corners, just a tad, just a little bit. You don't need to do a lot, just a little. So the steps are a little bit different with a regular sewing machine, but you don't have to worry about this because you're going to hide that. It wasn't that, I think it was like 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 of an inch in, or 3/8 of an inch, whatever you were set at. Mine looked like it was at 5/8. So what I'm doing now is just flipping it inside out, same steps as I did before. I have a piece of hair in here, sorry about that. Pull it inside out. Now remember, if you have wrinkly fabric, you're going to want to press it at this point. Make sure your seams are all laying flat the same way and that it's in the middle of your fabric. Okay. Are we good? Are we all good? I used a 3 and a 3.5. So the length going down was a 3, and then the width of the zigzag was a 3.5. But you can do it whatever you want, whatever size you want. It doesn't really matter as long as it stitches together. But it has to be a zigzag stitch because it's a stretchy headband. If you use a straight stitch, it'll snap. Yay, Kimberly. I'm really glad you like your brother. They are so easy. 3 length and 3.5 width. Yes. What is your seam allowance? You can use basically any seam allowance you want because the headband is going, I mean, don't go more than 1/2 of an inch, but you never really use that anyway. Just use like the 5/8 of an inch. I just lined it up with the end of my presser foot, but the material is stretchy anyway, so there really is no particular seam allowance, I guess. I just line it up with the end of my presser foot. Okay, are you guys ready to move on to the bow? Or I mean the knot. You're going to flip it over. I'm going to move my camera over here because I want to lay it down flat on here for you guys to see. Just like that. Okay. So now you're going to, again, make your breast awareness ribbon with your pretty sides facing up towards the ceiling, just like that. This is the pretty side. This is the not pretty side because you can see that line down the middle. You don't want to see that right now. So keep it like that. Okay. Now I grabbed it underneath here. See my hands are poking through the middle. You're going to take this one, the one that's laying over the top, not the one on the bottom. Leave that one alone. Pretend that's glued down. Take this one and bring it behind and then up through the hole. So here's your knot or your ribbon. Bring this behind and up through your hole right here. Grab it. Don't pull it tight. See how when it comes up, you can see the line right here? It's upside down. So at this point, you're going to flip it or twist it, whatever you want to call it, so that the right side is now facing up towards the ceiling and the wrong side with the seam is facing down. So now it looks like a piece of candy, like I said. If this was laying on the table, the pretty sides are facing up towards the sky. And this is the wrong side, where your seams are right down the middle. See those lines? You can see where my dots are connected. You want that side to be facing down. Okay. Now, what you're going to do, line your seam, flatten it. So see how you can take this? So this is what you can do with a regular machine. So see how do I angle this? I can't tell. Okay, so can you see that? So right now, they're going to be like this together. You want to flatten it. That's why I like this kind of fabric as well, because it just does what you want it to. You don't have to fuss with it. It just lays flat. So lay that flat and put it in the middle, just like that. And it's while you're doing the other side, so it doesn't move. So pin that right in the middle. Go over to the other side and do the same thing. But the reason why I snipped my corners, if you're wondering why I did that, was because when you lay it flat right here, if the corners were sticking up, you'd be able to see them over that. So now that you snipped them, they're hiding down here. You can't see them. You see that? So make sure those are in the middle. Now, your right sides together, you're going to put them together in the middle. Pin that together. So now you have it like this. Your wrong sides, where the seams are facing on the outside, and your pretty sides are facing on the inside of here. So your right sides are together. You're going to take it back over to your sewing machine. And I'm lining it up on the same, let me put you over here so you can see. I'm going to move you this over on this side. Maybe you can see it better if you guys can reach. Can you see that better? Trying to get you guys up close. Okay. So I'm lining it up on the edge right here. And then my needle is going to start there, but it's going to go back and forth a zigzag all the way down. You want to hold your end pieces together right here on the end so they're nice and tight. You can put your needle down, and you're going to want to back stitch and forward stitch because this is not a serger. So go forward and back. I always do it 3 times. You don't have to. That's just me. Take out your pin or clip. Make sure it's all lined up. Sometimes if you need help, like I didn't need any help, this material is nice. You can always grab your tail ends of your thread. I don't know if you can see that. Grab your tail ends over here and you can give it a slight tug. So see how when I pull it, it kind of helps it go through. But don't do it too tight. And then when you get to the end, back stitch and forward stitch. Sorry, my hand's in the way now. Cut it. Cut it. Okay. How we doing? Good night, Sarah. Thank you for sharing. Of course. Good night. Thank you for coming. For an adult, is there a certain amount of fabric that you add for the knot after you measure around the head? So I don't actually do a knot headband for the adult. We haven't got to that one yet. This one is just the baby one that I was doing on the regular machine. The adult one, I'm going to show you on the serger again, and it's going to be the exact same for the sewing machine. I just wanted to show everyone who didn't have a serger how to do it on the regular sewing machine. Hope that makes sense. But the adult one is the same measurement for every adult unless they specify that they have a larger or smaller head, but they are measured at 8 inches by 20 inches. I do not pre-wash my fabric. Thank you, Shayna. I appreciate that. I've never taught anything, so I hope I'm doing okay. I use 20 size cam snaps. Okay, so now because this isn't serged, my fabric is not going to fray. But I don't know what you guys are all using, so it is best to cut off. It's not super close because you don't want to cut your stitches. But what I would do is just cut as much as you can to get the bulk away. So cut off your bulk. And now that I am done sewing over here, I am actually going to move back over here. It's easier for me on this side so you guys can see what I'm doing. Sorry I keep moving you guys around. It's just, it's a lot of angles that you need to see. So I apologize. Mommy and Me size says 8 to 20 inches. Yes. So the reason why the Mommy is a different headband, it's not a knot. It is a twisted turban headband, so it's different. I will show you after I finish this one. Okay, so now you're going to, again, take the same thing we did to the other one. Take the seams in, flip it inside out, flip your wrist towards the center. Now 8 inches by 20 inches. A description. I'll have to fix that if it does. Okay, so again, the pointy part, which is this right here. So when you look at it, this is the pointy part. You're going to grab that. And if you get confused, it's literally the same piece that you're holding right here. So this is connected. If I pull it, it's not going anywhere. The knot, see how the knot swoops around underneath here and goes this way. This one swoops under here and goes that way. So it's all connected in a knot, if you think about it that way. So you're pulling this one and pushing the knot. So see how you can see the connection right here? It's like a figure 8. So this piece right here that I'm pulling, you're pushing the knot opposite way. And you're just pushing it to cover your seam right here. So once you get there, you're going to let go. Okay. Now what you're going to do is pull this bottom piece. So my finger's right here, which is connected to this piece, which is the knot underneath here. So you're holding it like this. This is like a figure 8 right here. This piece that's going over the top right here, you're going to pull it as tight as you can without stretching the material super tight. So I literally just pull this piece as tight as I can. Then I'm going to put my thumb over it because you've already created your knot, and that's your knot right there. Now all you got to do is adjust it to the way you want your knot to look. because I've already covered it. It's good. It's good to go. So I literally am just adjusting it. See how you can see it right there? Just cover it. Cover it, pull it, tuck it, however you want to do it. Just make it look pretty to your standards. You can flip the knot if you need to, or you can turn it inside out. It doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want to it at this point. It's already done. And then sometimes what I do is I'll twist it like that because I want this part of the knot facing up. Twist it, turn it, however you want to do it. But what you do want is your seam to be on the inside of the headband right here. And see how this piece right here is a little twisted? I'm just going to twist it until I get it to where I want it, which is connected to this piece. So I can come in here and just twist it however I need to make it look pretty. And there's your headband. Just like that. This fabric is a bullet fabric. Of course, Julie, thank you so much. Okay, so I'm not gonna go as slow with the adult one because it is a little bit easier. Are you guys still up to see the adult one, or did we take too long on the baby ones? Whoever wants to learn the adult one, I'm gonna keep doing it. I appreciate everyone who was patient enough for me to keep doing it. I know the knot is kind of confusing. I'm just grabbing another piece of fabric because I just made 3 baby ones. Okay. Okay, so the adult one, you're going to do the same thing for the step 1. Sew a straight line or serge a straight line. Whether you're using a sewing machine or a serger, go ahead and do that first step by sewing a straight line all the way down your raw edges. I'm not going to keep moving the camera because you guys have already seen it, so I'm just going to sew my straight edge and then come back over to the table really quick. What I can actually do, I can just do this. That way you can see what I'm doing. Or kind of. Snip off your ends and flip it right side out again. I'm going to now move you guys back down here. I should not have moved you the first time. So just flip it inside out. Same thing. Make sure your seam is in the middle. So get it to this way. And then I'm going to show you. You're going to, I don't want to move too fast. You guys here yet? Let me know when you're ready. Sorry, I keep sniffing. My microphone is right by my face, and it's so cold in my garage tonight because it was literally snowing in Arizona today. Can you believe that? Like, that's like a record. Okay, so what you're going to do now, flip it over. So right side is facing up. Pull it up. I'm gonna move this so you can see it more. Okay. So now your wrong sides are on the outside. Make sure they're in the middle. You're gonna line them up together just like we did the other one, but this is a different step. So just line them up in the middle. You have to make sure they are exactly lined up. Otherwise, it will mess up. So what I'm doing, I'm sorry, I was just looking at my seams. You're making sure that the way that you want your seams to be laid, they're laying the right way. So I'm moving them all around underneath here because I want my seam to be facing that way. So it's up to you. It doesn't matter which way they go. Just have them go the right way. And then line them up. What you want to do is take the edge. So the reason why I lined them up is because I wanted them to be even. But you're not going to sew them like that. What you're going to do is you're going to take, so watch closely, take this front corner and move it to the middle, just like that. So this front corner is onto the middle now. So just like that. If you want to, I'm going to do it right now so you guys can see me. Take a pin or a clip, clip that middle piece. So now your serge seam should be lined up with the end of your back one. Okay, are we all there? All right. So now you're just going to wrap it around. Make sure your seam on the inside is laying flat and wrap it. But make sure that your whole raw edges are all lined up. And you just wrap it around the back. Make sure you wrap it around the back. Your front one needs to wrap around the back. Now take it and pin it. Clip it together. And make sure they are all lined up just like that. And now this front one, you're going to do the opposite and you're going to wrap it forward. So take your clip off, keep your hands on it although, don't let it go. Wrap it forward, okay? Now it's going to look like this. So, does anyone need me to do that again before I sew it? Hi Zoa, I'm sorry it didn't work. I hate it never works. I always have to redo it. Okay. So, what you're going to do, right sides together, line them up in the middle. The reason why I line them up in the middle is so that you have an even amount on each side. Otherwise, it's going to be off. So make sure you have an even amount that your seam is directly in the middle. Now what you're going to do is they're separated. Move them, stagger them so that the end right here is on the middle seam, just like that. So the end right here is lined up with the middle seam, just like that. And your middle seam right here is now lined up with the back edge on the fold, okay? And if you need to, like I said, clip it so it doesn't move. Just keep them in place because you don't want them to move. Now what you're going to do is take this edge that's off, the front one. This is the front one. Wrap it around the back. Okay? So wrap it around the back. just like that, and then pin it. So now you're going to have this. Okay? So now all you have left is this flap right here. And you're going to wrap this flap around the front. Okay? So it's like that. Now you have all pieces together in the middle like a big burrito. So they're all together. And if you have a serger, all you're going to do is serge that. That's what I do. And then I do the same thing. I serge it, and then I flip it and serge it again. If you have a regular sewing machine, you're going to do the same exact thing, except you're just going to zigzag stitch over this, just like you did before on the knot one. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring you guys up more so you can see me. What I'm going to do is lower this one so you guys can see it better. Again, I apologize. I just want to be able to show you guys what I'm doing. And I don't know if this is going to still be too high, maybe. Yeah, it's still a little bit too high, so I'm going to lower it again. Okay, almost there. All right. Okay. So I'm literally taking this piece right here, and I'm just going to serge the edge. I know it looks thick, but it'll work. This is a thin fabric that you can push down, and most knits you can push down too. See, it looks thick, but then when you squish it, it's totally fine. I want my needles up. I'm pushing my, did you know that if your presser foot is up, but like I can't get it under there, see how it's like stuck right there? I don't know if you guys can see that. I wish I could zoom in on this webcam, but you can't. Go that way. Let's see. That doesn't really help, but let me see if I can turn this maybe a little bit. Is that better? So it doesn't go in there. It's like too high. So what you can actually do is lift this up. See how much higher that goes? You can lift that up and put your fabric underneath there. I do that all the time. And then put your presser foot down. And then all you're going to do is start serging. And then stop a little bit, take it out, and then I just flip it. Leave this on here. I cut it off to like maybe 1/2 inch, wrap it back over, shove this back underneath here, put it down, and make sure your strings are on there so they don't show. You can always cut them at the end too. And just go slow. You just have to go slow because it's a little thick, but it'll work. And then what I'm doing is just tucking my strings in. And if you haven't seen, I literally just go like this and I tuck them in. You're not going to see the white thread, so don't worry about that. I know you guys are probably thinking that. And then I just cut this off right here. Okay, so now okay, so it looks like this, right? So simple. Literally, this is the inside of your headband where the seams are. Flip it in there. And there's your headband. Boom. Done. Look at that. Like, I can even put it on for you if you want me to show you. Watch. I'll put it on really quick. Literally. All you do is tuck that in right there. I can't see what I'm doing. Have it inside out. You just tuck these in right here. Boom, done. There you go. That's it. Isn't it so cute? I love it. This is the headband I make for all moms because it's super simple. A lot of them wear them to work out in, to go to the gym, like just to pull your hair back, whatever. Like, it's so simple and easy. Thank you. So they're super cute, super simple. You can, you know, some people like do this, you know, just a headband if you don't like your face showing. But also with these, sorry, I just hit the microphone. You can also make them as skinny as you want. I like them fatter, but you can make them however thick you want them. So like it's 8 inches, fold it in half, which is 4 inches, but you can also fold it again to 2 inches. So it's just a little bit thinner, but I like them big like this. I think it's super cute like that. It's so easy. It's literally like once you get the fold part, it's literally like you just overlap them like this. And then this part that's in the front, you bring this part back around. This part, you bring around this way. So you're just wrapping them around each other. It's so simple. How long did it take me to make one nonstop? Like 5 minutes. I mean, like I can sew one for you really fast if you want and show you like how fast it really is. And like, honestly, this size is like perfect. Like, I don't have a big head, but I don't have a small head either. And it's just perfect. You can, if you want, you can do those in babies too. I just like the knot for the babies, but it's totally whatever you want to do. The sizes will probably be different. I haven't made those for babies, so I haven't really perfected the measurements yet on that. So I'm not sure what they would be. Probably just like an inch or 2 difference. I don't know. So this fabric that I used here, I actually got this on Amazon, and this is a bullet fabric. I love this fabric. And I always use, this one's not organic, but I always use, like, all my other fabric is organic for my company, but when I just do like seasonal headbands and only use them for headbands, I'll just buy like this kind of fabric. Like, you can get it. I'll show you another one I have that's super cute. It's right here. Let me see. Where did I put it? Oh, right here. So I get these on Amazon, and I'm trying to see if it has the name on here. This one's called, I use this for my spring line. It's so cute. This one. And you can see like the texture on it. Was it going to focus? So you can see the texture on it. And it does not fray. So you don't have to worry about serging the edges or anything like that. And these are really, really, this fabric is very good for bows or headbands or anything like that. The measurement for the one I just did for the adult, 8 inches by 20 inches is what I use. I've never had anyone complain about the size or tell me they need a different size. I have had one person say, I have a really, really small head for a adult. So can you make it a little bit smaller? And so I just made it like an inch smaller, and she said it fit her perfect. I'm trying to see. It doesn't say. It just says like wrap accessories on here. But Amazon never gives you like the full descriptions. But it's called a bullet knit fabric. And that's the kind of fabric I use for like my just fast bows like I just did tonight. But I also do the bows in all of my other material too. It's just not as stretchy. Yes, always make sure the stretch is going long ways because you want it to stretch over your head. If you don't put the stretch long ways, then you won't be able to get it on your head. I've accidentally made a headband with the stretch the wrong way. And I went to go like fold the knot, and it literally like it would not stretch. And so that was just a waste. I couldn't do anything else with that. So yeah, make sure it's going the right way. Thanks, Sandy. Do you guys have any other questions? I hope did I explain that okay to you guys? I'm freezing in here. So you can do it with any fabric. Like this is actually my organic fabric that I use for my clothing. And this is a headband that I have that I need to make for it. So I use this fabric too. It's make sure the stretch is the long ways. Like this is the short ways. If you do it, it doesn't stretch very much. See how much this stretches this way? So you want it sideways. Sorry, I'm looking at my computer over here. So you can use it with any knit fabric. My hair keeps getting caught on my mic. Thank you guys. All right, now the hard part is trying to figure out what my next tutorial is going to be. But if you guys don't know, if you're new here, I do these sew-alongs every other Monday at 8:30 Mountain Standard Time. And Gabby with Best of Both Worlds Co. Go follow her on YouTube. And Connie with Scandies, she's also on YouTube. Go follow and subscribe to their channels. The three of us are doing sew along videos every other week. So I do them on Monday nights at 8:30 Mountain Standard Time. Connie does hers on Sunday nights at 6:30, I believe is what she's doing. And it'll say on her YouTube, she always schedules her lives. If you follow her and click the bell notifications, you'll get her scheduled lives. She does them every Sunday night, and she's Central Standard Time, and so is Gabby. So Gabby with Best of Both Worlds, she does hers, I think, at 5:30 Central Standard Time on Tuesday night. So tomorrow night, I think she has a live tomorrow night for a tutorial. But every other week we do tutorials, and then every other week we do regular lives. So next Monday, same time, 8:30 for me, I'll be doing just a plain live, like work along, answering questions, chatting, whatever you all want. I'm sure I'll have to do some orders while I'm on live, but next Monday will just be a regular live for me. So now I got to figure out what I want to do for the next tutorial. So if you guys have any suggestions on what you want me to teach you guys, please leave it in the comments below. Message me. You can reach me on Instagram. You can reach me on Facebook. You can reach me on YouTube. You can email me. But let me know. So I want to put out tutorials that you guys are interested in and you guys want to learn. I just want to be able to teach you guys what you want. So that would be very helpful if I had like just an idea of what everyone wants to do. and that way I can get the supplies ready for the following week up to you guys. This was supposed to be just an easy, fun one tonight. Ended up being a little more confusing. I didn't think the knot was going to be that confusing, but I guess now that when you're the one not doing it and it's being explained to you, it's a little more difficult. So anyway, good night, Julie. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I have a new video coming out tomorrow, so be looking out for that. I just uploaded a new one yesterday, so if you haven't seen that, go back to my channel and watch that one. That one's just kind of a work along with me sort of vlog, I guess. I don't really know what to call it. It's just watching me work, basically. But yeah, I'm new to this, so I'm learning the best that I can and learning along with all you guys. So I hope you guys are enjoying everything that I'm doing. And like I said, if you have any suggestions or anything for me, any questions, just leave them in the comments or reach out to me. I'm an open book and I will answer any questions you have. So I guess that is all for tonight. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you guys so much for joining tonight. I keep saying this over and over again, but I promise I'm going to try to get better at connecting to my lives. Every time they get disconnected, so I'm going to keep trying. And one day it will go good. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Have a good night. I will see you guys all next Monday, I guess. Bye, guys.